And it's not the part that decides how this goes. See, attraction doesn't get you chosen. Attraction gets you evaluated. And I'm going to show you the 3 ways that a woman who genuinely likes you will quietly talk herself back out of it. Here's the part that will sting a little. It's usually because of something that happens on your side of the interaction, not hers. Here's what you're going to learn over the next few minutes. First, the 5 signs, so you finally stop guessing what she's thinking. Then, the uncomfortable truth about what those signs actually set in motion. Then, the 3 ways that it falls apart before it ever begins. And most importantly, the one piece of all that's completely within your control. Because the signs only tell you when the door is open. Whether you walk through it is entirely up to you. Stay with me because that second half is the half that nobody teaches, and it's the half that changes everything. One thing to hold on to before we start, because it makes all the 5 signs click into place. Almost everything that a woman feels towards you shows up in her body before it reaches her conscious mind. The oldest, fastest parts of the brain react first, and they move the eyes, the voice, the posture, the hands, well before she's decided what any of it means. That's why these signals are worth trusting. She isn't choosing to send them. In fact, half the time she'd switch them off if she could, which is exactly what makes it honest. Sign 1 is prolonged eye contact. You want to start with the eyes because the eyes give a woman away first and most reliably. When a woman is drawn to you, she'll hold your gaze for a fraction longer than the conversation requires. It's not a stare. A stare is something else entirely, and it reads as intensity rather than interest. This is more subtle. It's the half second of extra contact before she looks away. And then the tell that matters most. She comes back. She glances away, and a moment later, her eyes will return to you, almost to check whether you're still looking. The return is the whole thing. Here's why it happens. Eye contact triggers a small release of oxytocin, which is the bonding chemical. And when someone's attracted to you, her brain quietly rewards her every time your eyes meet. So she keeps seeking it out without deciding to. It becomes a soft running loop underneath the actual conversation. Look, break, return. Look, break, return. And here's the half that men miss. While you're reading her, she's reading you. She's rarely consciously thinking, oh, his skin. What registers is healthier, more energized, more put together. A man with standards who takes care of himself. And the reverse registers too, even if she never says it. Most men were never taught what to do with that. You don't need 10 products or hours of research. You need something simple enough that you can keep doing. That's why I'm excited to tell you about Tiege Hanley. One of the first things I address with men I coach before confidence or conversations is what routines and habits are. Because the big psychology cannot outperform a neglected baseline. And if no one handed you a routine or gave you a nudge in the right direction, that's not on you, but that is something that's really easy to fix. Tiege builds the routine for you with numbered steps for morning and night and products designed to work together for men's skin. You can start with the essentials or you can step up to level 3 for more targeted care. The point is not vanity, it's consistency. A routine you actually keep helps you look more awake, maintained and confident. Tiege Hanley has sold over 3 million boxes and has thousands of 5-star reviews. You cannot control whether she feels chemistry, but you can control the signals you send. Click my Tiege Hanley link to get 40% off your first box and a $20 free gift. Most definitely will help you with eye contact and what you should do with it. The answer is nothing dramatic. You hold it back warmly, a beat longer than feels automatic, and then you let it break naturally, the way she does. You're not trying to win a staring contest. You're matching a rhythm that she's already set, which tells her without a word that the loop is mutual. The second sign that you want to pay attention to lives in the body, and it's one of the most honest signals there because it's governed by a part of the brain that she has almost no conscious access to. Watch what she does with space. She leans in when the room isn't loud enough to require it. She drifts to your side of the group when she could just as easily be anywhere else. She turns her body towards you, not just her head, but her torso, her hips, and her feet. We point our feet at what we want to move towards, and we do it completely automatically. A woman can be managing her face beautifully, saying all the polite things, and her feet will still be quietly aimed at the person that she's actually interested in. The reason that this is so reliable is that proximity seeking is primal. We move towards what we want to be near. It's wired beneath our thought. It's beneath decision, beneath the social performance that we all run. What you do here is simple. You don't retreat and you don't lunge. If she's closed the distance, hold your ground warmly rather than backing off, which would read as rejection, or crowding the rest of the gap, which reads as pressure. You just let the closeness that she created stand. This third sign is worth paying attention to and is a small, quick and easy to miss sign. And once you've seen it, you'll notice it everywhere. When a woman's attracted to you, her hands start to give her away. She'll touch her hair, smooth it, tuck it behind her ear. She touches her neck or plays with a necklace or an earring. She might adjust her clothing, straighten something that didn't need straightening. It looks like fidgeting, and in a sense it is, but it's a specific kind and it's pointed at you. This is preening, and it's a self-presentation response that runs well below conscious thought. Attraction and nerves share a chemical, norepinephrine, which produces a little burst of restless energy, and the body channels it into unconsciously tidying and drawing attention to itself in front of someone that it wants to impress. The giveaway that separates this from ordinary nerves is direction. Anxious, uncomfortable fidgeting comes with a body that's leaning away, looking for an exit. Attracted preening comes with a body that's staying. It's leaning in. It's finding reasons not to go. You don't need to do anything active with this one. It's a confirming signal, not an invitation to act. The fourth sign hides in ordinary conversation, and you'll miss it entirely unless you're listening for it. She starts almost carelessly placing you into future scenarios. You'd love this place. We should do that sometimes. Oh, you have to try it. None of these are plans. She's not asking you out, and she may not even notice that she's doing it, but each one is a small involuntary tell that her brain has already begun imagining a version of the future with you somewhere inside it. This happens because attraction changes how the mind projects forward. When someone matters to us, we start to automatically rehearse scenarios that include them. It's the brain quietly trying the idea on. Here's what you do with it. It's the most actionable sign of the 5. When she drops one of these, you pick it up. She says, "You'd love this place." You say, "Then let's go. When are you free?" She's handed you a low-risk opening that she can retreat from if she needs to. So meet it with something equally light but concrete. This is often the exact moment where attraction either turns into a plan or it evaporates. And the difference is whether you notice the hint and had the nerve to catch it. The 5th sign is one that you hear rather than see, and most men never consciously register it even as it's working on them. When a woman turns to speak to you specifically, her voice shifts. It warms, it softens, it often drops a little in pitch. The same woman can be brisk and bright with the group, and then when she turns to you, her tone changes into something more intimate, more relaxed, and just a little lower. It's subtle and it's remarkably consistent. The key is not the pitch itself, it's the contrast. Research into how we speak around people that we're drawn to shows the voice unconsciously softening and warming, a kind of vocal leaning in. Her nervous system is down-regulating into closeness and ease, and it colors the voice without any decision on her part. What you do is match it. If her voice has dropped and softened, then let yours do the same rather than staying at the bright performing pitch that you use for the whole group. 2 people lowering their voices towards each other is how a conversation separates itself from the rest of the room. And matching her tone tells her, beneath the words, that you've felt the shift too. So now you can read her. You've got 5 reliable signs, and that already puts you ahead of almost every man she'll meet. But here's the uncomfortable bit, and it's the thing that this entire video is built around. You can read all 5 of those perfectly and still watch the whole thing go nowhere. Attraction doesn't get you chosen, attraction gets you evaluated. Those 5 signs mean that her brain has flagged you as interesting, and the instant that it does that, it starts running a second assessment to decide whether interesting is worth actually acting on. That second read is where a great many genuinely attracted women talk themselves right back out of it. And you need to be able to see it happening, because it looks from the outside almost like the attraction is switching off, but it isn't. It's attraction colliding with hesitation. Here are the 3 ways that you'll watch it happen. First, she blows hot and cold. One moment she's warm, open, and fully there with you. The next, she's cooler, clipped, and pulling back for no reason that you can identify. Your instinct will be to read the cold moments as truth and the warm ones as a mistake that she's correcting. Usually, it's the reverse though. The warmth is real and the cold is her trying to suppress it because the interest showed up faster or stronger than she's ready to trust. She's not playing a game, she's regulating something that she hasn't decided to let herself feel yet. The mistake that most men make here is to match the cold with cold of their own, to pull back hard, punish the withdrawal and treat it as a rejection. That confirms every fear that made her hesitate. What steadies her is consistency. You stay warm, easy and unbothered by the swing, which tells her nervous system there's nothing dangerous here to brace against. Second, she keeps herself near you without actually interacting. She's at the edge of your group, orbiting, clearly present in your vicinity, but she won't quite turn a conversation towards you. And if you catch her there, she might look faintly caught out. This is one of the most misread behaviors there is because it looks like disinterest and it's very nearly the opposite. She's caught between two pulls, the desire to be near you and the fear of showing how much she wants to be. The read here is crucial because if you treat her hovering as she's not into it and give up, you'll walk away from someone who is standing near you on purpose. What she needs is for you to make the first low-stakes move that she's too self-protective to make. A light, easy opener that lets her step in without having to expose that she's been waiting for the chance. Third, she catches herself being interested and pulls the handbrake. She holds your gaze a beat too long, realizes it, and abruptly looks away. She laughs a touch too warmly at something and then goes quiet as if she's embarrassed by her own enthusiasm. She lets the attraction show for a second, notices it showing and clamps down. That's the most fleeting of the three and the most revealing because it's a sign of a woman whose interest is running ahead of her comfort. She's self-conscious precisely because she cares how she's coming across. And you don't feel self-conscious in front of people who don't matter to you. The worst thing you can do is call attention to it, tease her about the blush, make the moment heavier than it is. What helps is the opposite. You ease off, keep things light and warm, and give her the safety to let the interest back out at a pace that doesn't frighten her. So here's the reframe that changes how you watch all of this. The signs tell you when the door is open, but they do not get you through it. What gets you through is the second half of the interaction, whether you read the moment and actually respond to it. That half isn't up to her at all. It's entirely up to you. Think about everything that we've covered: the eye contact, the closing the distance, the preening, the future that she sketches, the shift in her voice. You don't control a single one of those. They happen to her and your only job is to read them honestly. But the hesitation on the other side, the hot and cold, the hovering, the moment that she catches herself, how all of that resolves depends almost entirely on what you bring. Your steadiness,